Oh yeah, it's that time again. Sunday, getting ready to go live with another episode of America's first and favorite two-wheel motorcycle talk and entertainment show, Shop Talk, live every Sunday at 9 p.m. through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. Good to see everybody piling in, man. It seems like the week was just so long. I could not get through this week, but it's Sunday. It's Easter. Happy Easter. And you guys are here, so are we. We're getting a show together in the back right now. 3.5 minutes till we go live with this one. That's just enough time for you to kick back, relax, get something cold to drink, get ready for Shop Talk. Shout outs. What's up, Tiger? Tiger Ward in the house already tonight. V-Rod are in with us. Who was first tonight, Heather?
Tiger was first across the finish line tonight.
Tiger first. Always good to see who races, and you guys beat me here week after week. I don't even know how that happens.
We have people celebrating a multitude of different things today.
Yeah?
Between Easter and it being 420.
That's right, it's 420.
I don't know if this is sacrilegious.
Mark's going to be so happy.
Today is Mark's Day. So Mark goes either way. What was that
meme
we saw today?
Easy. We're just in pre-show. You can't talk about Mark going either way.
What was the meme we saw earlier? If you ain't blazing, you're praising today.
420 Easter. That's terrible.
Dude.
You're going straight to hell after the show. I hope your mother's watching.
I don't feel that way. I just read what somebody else wrote. I didn't say I agreed with it.
Wait, behind Rudy's Fairing says, I was waiting 15 minutes in the chat.
What?
He was waiting to be first. Robin Higginbottom in here with us. Dan Gifford. Rob Nussbaum in the house. Rob, we're going to talk about you tonight on the show. Rob wrote an incredible open letter to Harley-Davidson, and if you guys have not had the privilege of going to Retrocycle social media and checking that out.
Right now.
So Robin Higginbottom in with us. Myrtle Beach, Dan Gafford. If you guys are watching, throw a link up. Let us know where you're watching from. A little shout out. Big D checking in from good old Marengo, Illinois. Down to 1:32. Look, man, if you dig what we do, this is episode number 307. If you dig what we're doing here every week with Shop Talk, make sure you hit the like and share button. Let your friends and neighbors know when we go live with this one. Rob Nussbaum put his ass on the line for that one. You got that. Rick Marriott in the house. Big D says, Happy Easter, peeps. Get it? See what he did there? He said peeps.
Did you see what Jeff Holt had today? He had Rice Krispie treats made with peeps.
Oh, see, that's bullshit. Well, listen, it's a minute out, but I think that's enough time to get this one going. We're going to have a great show tonight. Got lots of stuff to go through. I'm super stoked. I'm glad to be here again. Glad we made it back for another Sunday. 45 seconds. Let's get this one out of the station and up onto the tracks. Let's go live with this week's Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys from all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. Actually, it's exactly 9 p.m. Exactly 9 p.m. On the East Coast.
Gee, miracles do happen.
Happy Easter to everybody out there watching with us, man. Hope you had a great day with your friends and your family. And like Heather said in the pre-show, either blazing or praising. Here's my crew, blazing and praising. She's praising.
I'm praising.
He's blazing.
Yeah. Like there was any question about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you got to be. Wait a minute. Let me put you full screen, buddy. That's a good one.
Oh.
That's what it's like in my house today.
Oh. Goodness gracious.
Where's them Easter eggs? Over in Weed?
The weeds. I like it.
Oh, crap.
So
the magic of television.
Everybody's checking in. Gary Rayfield is here with us. Bill Stevens, Michigan. Behind Rudy's Fairing, Northwest Indiana, 28 miles from Chi-Town.
V-Rodder's on I-80 on his way to New York City.
Don't do it.
Turn around.
Don't
Go
do
back.
it. Hey, so great show tonight. But before we get started, I want to talk about what did you do for Easter? What'd you do?
Mark?
Not everybody.
Me?
Jesus, you're killing me.
I was sick for Easter.
Well, you were what? Yeah,
I was
Heather
sick
was
for
sick.
Easter. You
And
built things.
I built stuff.
I ate a lot.
Mark ate and smoked.
See,
I ate a lot.
no wonder why you ate a lot. You had the munchies.
Yeah, I did. Actually, when I got the text sent you the link, I was jamming like a blueberry raspberry tart in my pie hole as I was running out the door to get in the truck to drive home to get on the show. So
Oh, man.
it's okay. I brought more home, so
Okay, but I want some.
good.
So for us, it was
Well-
it was a working holiday. We built a cool little raised garden thing for Heather in the backyard, and decided to just we had a couple offers to go to different places and stuff, and when we decided to just spend the day at home with the dogs, and
Yeah.
it was glorious. I moved a motorcycle. I moved it from one spot to the other so I could get to the saw in the garage, but that was all I did.
Oh, check this out. Tiger Ward, I want to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers for my wife. She's home now and feeling much better.
Right on,
Tiger,
man.
that's so wonderful to hear.
Yes,
What a
sir.
great gift. Super happy for you guys.
All right, so let's get into it a little bit because boy, the shit is still flying around Milwaukee, Wisconsin, buddy. It doesn't look like it's slowing down. Let's start off with the regular part of the show we start with every week on Shop Talk, a little segment we call
Done news.
All right, first up in the news tonight from Power Sports Business, H Partners launches campaign to oust Harley board members. Updated. Now, if you have not seen this letter, wow, incredible. So one of the largest shareholders, HarleyDavidson Incorporated, and a firm of former board member Jared Dordville, which owns approximately 9.1% of the outstanding shares of Harley-Davidson, announced he has filed a preliminary proxy statement with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to solicit shareholders to vote to withhold electing 3 incumbent CEO and Chairman Jochen Zeitz, President Director Thomas Lindbergh, and 29-year Director Sarah Livinson at Harley-Davidson's 25 annual shareholders meeting. Effectively, what this means is the shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
When you have majority shareholders voting to not confirm existing board members, some of them like the lady there, 29 years.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
a big shakeup in the company, and I invite you to go to their letter. Heather's going to put the link up.
Yep.
Their letter was poignant.
Right. And when you go to the
say the least.
website, there's a whole website for it. When you go to the website, there's a pop-up disclaimer saying exactly what it is and
But they're calling for Zeitz immediate removal and
yep.
site brand mismanagement,
Oh, all
destruction
sorts
of
of
dealer
things.
profitability.
It's quite inflammatory.
And it's pretty scathing, really is.
Yep.
So definitely, like Pro Monkey said last week when we were breaking some of this news, I can't imagine this ever being a good job when Harley-Davidson stocks are going down, dealer confidence is going down, the customer base feels alienated. It's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. That's all I can say.
Yeah, the website that we're talking about that has the letter and all of this is freetheeagle.com. Should you want to go check it out for yourself.
Which they're talking about a new direction. There could have been a better name for the website. I'm just saying.
All right, what would you have gone with? Come on, lay it
I don't
on
know.
me.
Wolf in the Moon? No, I'm just kidding. None of that. I would have come up with something different entirely. Okay, so next up in the news, Indian Motorcycle organizes with Folds of Honor for its second annual charity. Indian Motorcycle announced the return of its Fold of Honor charity ride that benefits families of fallen and disabled U.S. military service members and first responders on September 20th. Riders around the country can join the journey at any Indian motorcycle dealership.
That's
Good for
awesome.
them.
We should maybe think about doing that.
So, do we have any events, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride that's coming up? I can't remember if we do.
You know, I do not, but it is on May 18th. Let me throw a link up to it.
So, anybody that wants to participate in this in Mitchell, South Dakota, get a hold of us because we're thinking about trying to do it out of the shop here.
Well, not even, I mean, if you're within an hour of Mitchell or whatever, we'd like to put one together.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, I lost my dad to prostate cancer. 15 years ago. Sorry, Mom. It always catches me off guard. But so it's a event that's near and dear to my heart. It also addresses mental health awareness for men and a whole bunch of good things. So if you're not in or around Mitchell, South Dakota, I'm sure there's one in your state.
Everywhere. It's amazing.
They're all over the world.
I can remember when it first. Got going. You know, you never would imagine how big this has become, and what a force it is. So.
Yeah.
And it's brought a lot of awareness too, like crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right now, currently, there's 47,000 riders registered worldwide.
Wow, far out. All right, so next up in the news, webinar on tariffs impacting power sports. Tariffs all in the news, and the only thing anybody wants to talk about consistently, President Donald Trump's announcement and changes to his tariff policy have caused confusion and uncertainty among many power sports businesses. To that end, the Motorcycle Industry Council is hosting a free webinar on Tuesday, April 22nd, 11 a.m. Pacific, for anyone interested in learning how these changes may affect power sports industry. So that means, am I reading this right, Heather, that anyone with the link can attend this webinar?
That's how I read it.
Do you have to sign up?
I read it the same way you did.
Visit MIC's webinar page to register for the event.
Oh, there you go.
So we're going to put this link up right now as you're watching me do it. Might not look professional, but I want everybody to have this opportunity because they promised to answer a lot of questions that are out there about, you know, what has changed, what's going to change, how this is going to impact the business. You know, anybody that has a shingle hung up right now that's wondering what's going to happen with parts and everything should definitely be part of this seminar to see what MIC has to say about it. Because speaking of the shit hitting the fan.
Oh boy. Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I really want to learn more about that carry battery tender thing. It's been on every news piece so far.
Yeah.
It's killing
Listen,
me. I want to know. Let's go follow through. I want to see about this battery tender thing.
You have to excuse my search history. The algorithm's picking up on the fact that it's spring and all of Chris's shit is dead. That's what's happening right there. But like Rob Nussbaum says, almost all batteries come from China. You know what I mean? Like,
well, there you go.
You don't think about like it's real easy to go rah 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 made in America. And I come from a steel mill town, right? Me and Mark, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah. We're as rah rah American as there is, but you know the lines have been blurred so much over the years, man, that you don't even realize what we don't have available to us in this country anymore. So no matter how you support it, how you feel about it one way or the other, it's going to be a rough adjustment period for sure.
Show. Hi, Miss Annie.
Annie's here?
Annie's here.
Right on.
Hi, Annie.
Hey, so a friend of the show, and this is kind of news too, we're going to give him a shout out. Evan Favro, one of our Favro, Speakeasy Motors has really achieved something great here. The cover of the Barrett Jackson Experience features one of his builds, and Mark brought this up to us right before the show. So
that's awesome.
Take it away, Mark.
Yeah, what an amazing car that is. But like that dude's, if you've never looked into Evan Speakeasy Motors, I mean the kid's amazing and just a great person. And some of the stuff he does outside of motorcycling, his fabrication work is second to none. But I caught this a few days ago on an Instagram post, and Evan always impresses me. And
look at the metal
one
work.
of the nicest people in the world.
Look at the metal work that kid did in that engine compartment.
Oh, dude.
He's so talented.
Everything. Like I said, the past few things he's done, I never even realized he did, but he builds furniture.
Okay, it's official. I hate him.
You have a
he's just a super talented guy. deserves all the credit he can get.
I'm such a dick.
Thing,
I'm talking about this and not showing you guys.
Oh,
let me go through that real quick.
Nuts.
Yeah, look at that engine compartment, dude.
His fab work. That International Scout he built a couple years back for SEMA, if I'm not mistaken, and then his bikes are top notch.
Yep.
And he's a nice kid too. He's just
him and his wife are some of the nicest people. They're expecting, I think, real soon,
May 2025, baby boy
Right.
Favro. That's so exciting.
Yeah,
look at that.
I know,
man.
and they're both super excited. So it's a great thing. He's just a great kid. He really is. Couldn't pass it up. I always thought, we pitch a lot of stuff out there, and he deserves all the credit he can get.
Absolutely.
Good for you,
hey, and listen, speaking of giving credit, so Smokeout Rally coming up in September, the 25th Smokeout features the second year of our Garage Builder Buildoff. Back again. The application is up online, and it's filling up fast. We said that we're going to take the very first 24 people that apply to this. It will be whittled down to 12 before the actual show. All 12 builders will get passes to Smokeout. You'll get a display area inside the building where you'll have to display your motorcycle throughout the weekend. One lucky winner will walk away with a big box of prizes, $1,000 cash, and the bragging rights to be the Garage Builder of the Year. Now, let's make sure that we're clear about this on the show. This is not
the amateur chop-off.
This is Garage Buildoff.
Yep, Garage Buildoff.
And what does that mean, Heather?
Any make, model, shape, size. I don't care if you want to build a Cushman. As long as you built it, it's under 10 grand. You can show me your receipts. We're good.
I can't tell you in good conscience that a Cushman is going to do very well, but you go, little buddy.
But it doesn't. It's not. It's
you
not.
never know.
Maybe because I'm not competing, I don't think it's about the winning. It's about
not.
the participating, and it's
And
about
I mean,
being part
Right.
of that group.
Dude, and that's we all sat around and talked about this whenever we were, after the first couple years of reviving Smokeout and getting it back to Salisbury. We talked about the things that we wanted to do with the event because we added so much into it, and it's nonstop. But what could we do to celebrate where all this starts from? And it all starts in a garage, two guys talking about changing a bike, making the perfect bike ever, right?
Well, and I think just like custom motorcycling has evolved so much throughout the years. So has Smokeout. So I think it's only fair to celebrate all custom motorcycles. If you want to build a Vikla, build a Vikla. If you want to build a Dyna, build a Dyna. I mean, there are rules.
Bill Stevens says, wait a minute, have you seen the cost of a Cushman lately?
Right. It's funny. I know somebody that's in the process of building a bike, and I asked him, I'm like, why haven't I seen your application yet? He said, I don't know if I can keep it under $10,000.
Mark, check it out. So one kid fills out an application. He says, look, I don't have any pictures of a bike
greatest.
because I've never built a motorcycle yet. I want to build one for this. He said, so here's a couple good pictures of me.
But it was great because he's a young kid.
I want to put him in just for that.
Yeah, winning because he's a young kid. I want to say he was like in his early 20s, and he's sitting there holding an Easy Riders magazine. I'm like, you get it.
Yeah.
Like
At first I was like, hey, man. But then I thought, like, okay, listen, he's a young dude and he's holding a magazine. That's a win for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So
he wasn't holding an iPad.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, I have to give a shout out to Callie Chavez. Every week they tune in from Costa Rica, and I just love that. That brings me so much joy, and they don't miss a week. I think it's fantastic.
Dude, Radar.
I think you might have to go there and do a show from their place then.
Right?
Oh, business
That's the deal.
expense. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Radar's pushing it.
awesome.
Radar's pushing it tonight. He says, two guys in a Cushman. That sounds like a great movie. If it was two guys,
Where's your buzzer?
if it was two guys, one Cushman, it was a completely different kind of movie. And anybody that laughed right now.
What, did he just watch Dumb and Dumber or what?
So hey, listen.
Hey, and hold on. And in the build-off for the Smokeout, no crybabies need not apply.
Yeah, no crybabies.
Let's get that straight out right now.
There was a couple people last year that didn't understand that, this is not
read the fine print.
The only other thing that I
we
will
ain't that
say
guy.
about it is Chris and I 100% do not judge any of the motorcycles.
Oh no,
Not
don't
at
get me
all.
wrong. I'm judging every one of you.
Well, just
From
we don't have
100
any
feet.
official, we don't have any official say in the judging. But straight up, best bike wins. You know, there are rules. Go check it out. SmokeOutRally.com. Garage Buildoff. There's still a few places left. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We
All
got
right.
you.
So another friend of the show, real quick, we're going to talk about this. Rob Nussbaum, Retro Cycles, up in New Jersey. I believe Rob is in the part of Jersey where they call it Taylor Ham, which we're not going to get into that.
Wherever it is, he's the mafia king of the flannel in that area. I know that.
He definitely is. He's definitely the flannel mafia, but he's also somebody I very much respect in this industry, have for a long time. He's helped us so much with this show and all the stuff that we do with the audiovisual with Cycle Source TV. But Rob wrote an incredible letter to Harley-Davidson, and actually,
Oh boy.
yeah, we have a
Super nervous over there.
we have a little problem in the
I
studio
can fix it
right
if
now.
you'll all just excuse me. Carry on.
Rob wrote Rob wrote a great letter, an open letter to Harley-Davidson. So I got to tell everybody what happened because it's too funny. We get everything ready for the studio, and as you can imagine, this is quite a big operation to put everything together. And the laptop that you can see now has a black screen, had our guest on it. We remembered to set the laptop up, hook everything up, get everything ready, but didn't plug it in, and now it's dead. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened right there. So yeah, Rob wrote this letter. We'll go on and talk about it for a second. It was an open letter to Harley-Davidson from someone who has deep, deep passion. You know, not just from the aftermarket, not just from the fact that he owns a shop. If somebody that understands the impact that Harley-Davidson, the health and well-being of that company comes in ripples through all of this, right? And it was a great letter. I'm not going to go on about it. I'm going to put the link up for you guys to go to his feed and actually check it out for yourself. But one of the best of us out there. So I know this. He did this at some risk to himself. So Rob, thank you so much for speaking up for all of us. We appreciate it. And let's go to Heather. Heather, what's going on in the news?
I'm fixing your stuff. I'm fixing your stuff. Taylor.
Radar says if you put on sunglasses, you'll look like the Unabomber.
Thanks. I can't help it if I was sick today.
So yeah, listen.
I'm here.
If our guest is still hanging on somewhere, just hold
He's like,
tight.
it looks like this now. I'm like, be right back, dude.
Oh my God.
I hate when that happens.
Shelton says only a couple Clockworks parts. Some were cut up. I even designed one of the parts they now sell. To Rob Nussbaum, we all need to speak up. That's absolutely the truth. That's something I want to say here in front of everybody is like, you know, with the advent of the social media age, we've all got into this place where we all sit back and we wait for someone else to do the speaking for us. You gotta speak up, man. You gotta talk about what you're feeling if you want anything to change. So
Yeah, the world's going to change around you, and you're not going to get your piece in.
right.
You know, like you have to speak up. I mean, nobody likes a big mouth, but on the other hand, when the world changes around you and you didn't say anything, then shame on you.
Amen.
Okay, so do you have Rob's thing set up there, Heather?
Oh, I thought, yeah. Oh, I did already post it. It's already posted. I did it. I did it. Mark, did you get a chance to read that yet?
I did not.
That's good. I threw the link up. I'll send it to you directly. So
Yeah, he posted it a while back, and I opened it and started looking through it, and then of course never finished it and never went back to it. So everything, Rob's so deeply involved in everything. He's been a part of it for so long. I'm sure he speaks well for everyone.
He did. He's very well spoken.
Okay, so that was that was a new one. I've never done that fuck up before on the show.
Oh boy.
The worst part is the cord, like the power supply was literally right next to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Like, here's the computer.
So, hey,
Here's the
listen,
power
man,
supply.
only through the
So
courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio do you get to watch this show every week, so we need to give them thanks and praise for that. We're going to take a real quick break and take a look at a new product. When we come back on the other side, Taylor Santos is waiting from the Shifter crew, and he's going to be coming on. We're going to get into what is the Shifter crew. Tell you all about it when we come back, right after this cool new product. This one, right here.
This one?
Nope. It's just going to be one of
because
those
we
nights.
started on time.
This new product.
Okay, so I walked up to the Simpson booth today carrying a 10-year-old helmet. Same helmet, 10 years. I left with this bad boy. The Simpson Mod Bandit helmet. So far, I've had it on for about the past 2 hours. I dig it. It's rad. There's minimal noise. There's no rattle with the drop-down shield. Very comfortable so far. I might need to get have them send me a set of cheek pads. I don't know if I have enough squish. I don't know if my face should chubby enough. I can lift this shield and still use the inner shield, or just the inner shield if I want some wind in my face. It is all about the wind therapy. The modular part, again, I like the wind in my face sometimes. It just feels good. I can do that. I can have that up. It's rad. You know, if you've had a modular helmet before, when you stop, you just flip the front up. If you have to do something, if you have to have a conversation with somebody, super easy. I dig it. This one glows in the dark. Glows in the dark. So people will be able to see me. Less chance of dying. Dig it. First ride. 2 hours in, I'm super digging it. It's not heavy. I don't feel like it's snapping my neck. And again, it's quiet. No shield rattle. Stay tuned for more.
Oh, nice. Paul Yaffe product, huh?
Yeah, man, so excited.
Got a new build?
I do. It's. Aren't you Paul Yaffe?
No, I've never met the guy. But I do know you can get all of his products at DennisKirk.com.
There you go.
Just me? Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Listen to Not Paul Yaffe. Get all your Bagger Nation products right now at DennisKirk.com.
I'm Nick Trask, Trask Performance, and you're watching ShopTalk.
Clockworks, where innovation meets style. Clockworks specializes in high-quality windshields, fenders, phone mounts, and other parts designed to enhance your ride, with a commitment to craftsmanship and an eye for detail. Ensure your bike not only rides smoothly, but looks stunning too. Elevate your riding experience today. Shop getclock.com.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. I feel like every time I hear that commercial, I want to bust Shelton's balls and go,
Today.
Today.
I have
love
a
'em.
Brady Bunch flashback every time you hear that commercial.
I love them. Hey, listen, so we made the cardinal mistake in doing shows like this. And, when our guest tonight came on to the pre-show, we're like, yeah, we do all this stuff and blah, 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 and all the magic. And then the whole thing goes to shit in front of us. And we're like, yeah, we were really great about that. But met Taylor at the Metro Mayhem. Was that the name of the event this year at Arizona? And had been hearing a ton about him and his guys from Shelton for quite a long time. So we hurried up and got a quick interview with him that day, and then agreed to follow it up with this interview here tonight. So let's get Taylor from the Shifter Crew on right now. Yeah, it's so professional. It's so good.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Good, good, good. How are you? How was your Easter? It sounds like you guys had a pretty chill day.
We did, and it's nice sometimes to just break away and pretend that you have nothing to do with the motorcycle world for a minute.
100%. Take the Sunday off and don't do anything.
So listen, I'm going to get right into this. This is what I hear about the Shifter Crew is that the name, it's all in the name. That you and a bunch of your buddies were always showing up with broken shit. So tell me the story.
Man, that's about that's the skinny of it right there. I think you about nailed it. No, we it was me and a group of buddies lived up in Lemoore, California, and we're kind of into the more performance-oriented Harley-Davidsons, and we would meet up and we would race up to a bar called Mountain House up near Sequoia National Park, and it'd be like, all right, the last guy there got to buy the first round, and one time we showed up and we had, literally my shift linkage came off. We had another guy who had a set of mid controls, and they were for a twin cam. He had an M8. They showed up the wrong set. And he was like, well, I got a lathe at the house. I can make this work. That all came apart, obviously. And we showed up to a buddy's house one day, and he was kind of making fun of us. And he was like, well, the fucking Shifter Crew is here. And we just thought that was hilarious. And we made some stickers, and next thing you know, we were making T-shirts. but yeah, we just kind of rode them till we broke them.
Now, if you guys haven't had the opportunity to see the Arizona Bike Week coverage that we just released on our YouTube and CycleSource TV, it features an interview with Taylor and the Shifter Crew because they did the bike show, or one of the bike shows at the Metro Mayhem. But what I liked most about the experience of meeting you guys and watching you do your thing is every single person that was hanging around that booth that looked like they had anything to do with you was a straight up character.
Like, oh my God, yes.
Honest to God, you could have built stories off of the shit that was going on there all day.
Oh man, it changes every time depending on kind of who shows up and what the theme is going to be that weekend, if that makes sense. Like, there's always a line from a weekend of a show, you know what I mean, that kind of catches on, and you never know what it's going to be. But we got a good group of dudes around, so it's always funny.
I liked the guy with the megaphone when he was looking for his wife. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Like, in his own weird way, it was probably one of the sweetest things that I had heard in a long time. It was great, though.
Yeah, that was either Graf or Dustin from LFG, and those guys are hilarious. I'm pretty good at talking to people. I don't get nervous. I don't get uncomfortable. And I've watched those guys and learned a lot from them and how they kind of approach stuff. And they do not care if they make a fool of themselves. They are perfectly fine with looking goofy in public. And that goes a long way,
Oh, it does, dude. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. At the end of the day, you can't take any of this shit too seriously. But Mark, honestly, like, these guys remind me a lot of the shit that we used to do back in the Limpnicky lot days.
Oh God, don't follow in their footsteps.
Huh?
Don't do it.
It sort of sounds like they do, and please follow in our footsteps.
No.
Nobody else has, and there's no fun anymore.
It would be the worst decision you ever made.
Hey,
Dude,
wait a minute.
The stories that you'll be able to tell a few years down the line, and dude, let me tell you, talk about things breaking. Not only did our ship break, we didn't have enough money to get to where we were going. So we would have lied. Whoever made it to the bar last would have had to rob somebody to pay for that first round. I can tell you that. Or we would have robbed the bar, whatever came first. So that's cool. Not many people do that anymore. It's awesome to see you guys doing this shit.
Well,
yes, sir, we're trying.
On a serious note, before we get too into this, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
And he sent us a picture of kind of what he does for his day job. You just passed it.
Oh, Jesus.
In all seriousness, Shifter Crew, the guy with all the broken stuff, he is a rescue swimmer.
Nice.
Dude, that is no joke right there, buddy.
And
Yeah, that's
much
that's
respect.
me sitting in the door.
Much
That's
respect.
Crazy. So,
Thank you.
like I said, first and foremost, thank you for your service. That's a huge commitment and a huge part of your life that you've given up for us. So much
Thank
respect.
I never know what to say when people say thank you for service, because I really like my job. And so I'm always like, I don't want to say my pleasure, but I'm like, I'm having a good time, guys. It's all good.
Hey, that's
You know
okay.
what
My
I mean?
pleasure is okay. That works. If it fills your cup, good on you. That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, I want to start out real quick. Yeah, Ron Fleener. So Flea says that's effing gangster. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to start out and just get you to talk a little bit about how you come into this, because another thing that I thought was great in the interview that we had real quick at the Moto Mayhem, you said, it just turns out that me and my buddies wanted to find something that we could have as an excuse to be at these events, and that's how the Shifter Crew shows got started. So I want to get a little bit of background on you and how you got started with that.
Yeah, so I started riding. I joined the Navy in 2011. That's kind of pertinent to this, but I lived in Virginia Beach for like 10 years and nine-ish years, and started riding like 2015. And I wasn't real sure how much of a commitment or how into motorcycles I was going to be, I guess. And when I moved to California during peak of COVID 2020, I kind of learned real quick that it was going to be a big part of whatever I'm doing moving forward. I went to a motorcycle rally by myself. It was the first one I'd ever been to, the Live Fast Rally down in Sylvan, California. And I was the only one that went. I hadn't really known anybody. I'd been kind of new to California. I didn't really have a big group of friends yet. And over the years, kind of started making buddies. And then I told you, found some guys that were interested in the same stuff I was, like this performance aspect of these Harley-Davidsons. And I told them, like, hey, we need to go the following year. We need to go to this Live Fast rally again, because I had a great time there by myself without anybody. Let's go try to enjoy it again. And we started, I believe our website went live like June 1st of 2022. And Live Fast that year was June 6th. So it'd been about 5 days. And we didn't know anything about, a vendor application or insurance or any of those things that you're supposed to have. So we showed up to that rally and we had our backpacks on. We had shirts in our bags on our bikes, and we all put our bikes in the show. And we started selling t-shirts out of our bags at the show, which we kind of laugh about now, that we probably shouldn't have done it that way, but we become buddies with those guys and it's worked out. And then, it might've been, so that was June. It was probably like October of that year. We decided, hey, we want to do something different. We don't want to just be selling t-shirts. We want to kind of have a reason to be everywhere that we can be. We want to go to Arizona Bike Week every year. We want to try to make it to Sturgis. We want to be at LFR. We want to be at all these things. Let's try to throw bike shows, because that was what we enjoyed, was riding to these events, looking at these bikes that people have spent not only their money, but their time. And it's clearly their passion and what they're really into. We want to kind of be able to appreciate and sit there and watch these. So let's try to throw our own bike show. And my business partner, Daniel, and I had gone to Arizona Bike Week the year prior, and we kind of cold called Scottsdale Harley and said, hey, do you guys have anybody that'd be interested in putting on a bike show? And they were like, no. Who are you? They had no idea, kind of who we were. So they let us come on. We reached out to Clockworks, actually, who I think I messaged them around November and never heard back. They never actually responded. And then at the Billwell Parts and Labor Show in January, we had a booth set up, and Shelton came over and goes, which one of you guys runs the Instagram? And I told him that'd be me. He goes, I got your message, but I knew you'd be here. I want to talk to you in person. How can we help you with your bike show? And it has been off to the races ever since then. That's pretty much how we got started doing the bike shows.
Well, and that some of that comes along with the philosophy that you guys have for the effort that you put into your trophies too. That was another thing that I dug, because we got, I'll admit this, in motorcycling, maybe I was a part of this. I like to feel that we take that kind of consideration into our awards and stuff too. But I feel like the motorcycle industry, we got into this, just any old plaque or plastic shit with a motorcycle on the top of it was what we gave out at these shows. And you guys very much went in a different direction with that.
Yeah, that was kind of, we wanted to go out and do this. We wanted to do unique, different things. And we realized nobody knows who we are. Nobody has any idea. We have to make a statement. We have to show a sense of pride in what we're doing. And we want to create something that as much effort as somebody has put into this bike and that they've worked on and spent their blood, sweat, and tears on, we want to show that amount of effort in what we're going to give them. And I don't look at it as like a rewarding them thing. We're just like, hey man, we made something really cool. You made something really cool. We want to give you this to show our appreciation for what you've done. And it seems to have worked out. You know, I don't know. Every time we do a trophy, I sit there and I look at Dan and I go, what the hell are we going to do next? Yeah. We never know. And we end up doing something cool every time, you know?
Yep. Flea just put in a message up that the hamster started with 5 yellow shirts at somebody. He said Walmart, but I'm doing the math. Wasn't it 70? What was the first year hamster? 78?
It would have been Kmart.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been Walmart back then. It would have been Kmart or maybe GB's.
His point's awesome though.
Yeah.
His point's awesome though.
Yeah, it might have been
the trophies for him though. Imagine, like Chris and we've been doing this a long time, and that got to the point where it was so hard to come up with other ideas, and it's super cool. And like you said, to show those people that are coming to your show that you appreciate them bringing it there, and you want their trophy to be something cool to give back to them. So it's cool that you didn't just throw something together just to give them a trophy,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we might need to put you in charge of our trophies, because it is hard. It's hard being creative, especially, some of our bike shows have 28 classes.
Yeah.
So when you're doing 28 trophies, you're like, dude, what can I do 28 times that's not going to cost me my next year's salary?
You know what I dig is it looks like the trophies that were in the picture that you have in the show tonight. This is something that was like a serious machine process.
Those are bitchin'.
These are, like you said, the kind of effort and thought that goes into a motorcycle. That's how these trophies are made. This isn't some shit you're going to order in a catalog or off of Amazon, and I can dig that.
That's right. Yeah, it's and he would absolutely hate that I'm throwing his name out here, but my business partner is Daniel Pearson, and he's 100%. He handles all the things that actually take to run a business. Like, he makes sure the taxes are filed. He tells me every weekend, save your receipts, dude, send me your receipts, save me your receipts, all that kind of stuff. He doesn't want anything to do with the Instagram or, being out there doing this kind of stuff. It's not really his thing, but he designs all those trophies and he makes the phone calls. We've got a machinist, Mosport machine up near Yosemite in California, who does the build aluminum and drills all that kind of stuff out with his stuff. And then we've got an acrylic guy that we lay those inserts with, and then Bamco Motorsports helps us out with all the hardware. So it's the first time we did this, we had to figure out, who can cut the billet, what kind of cutting, like we tried some kind of system, and this is more Daniel's specialty than mine, but whatever we had used to try to cut the first round of trophies, it didn't work correctly. So we had to send it off to get it like water cut, and this whole there was 7-8 people involved by the end of it. And now, we've been doing it for a couple of years and we've got it narrowed down a little bit, but I'd be wrong not to give him a shout out, because that was his brainchild. I just showed it off a little bit for him.
So he's definitely the brain, like, it seems to me like you're the face and he's the nuts.
You can say the brains, because he's a lot smarter than I am.
Well, I don't want to put it that way.
Wow, Heather, seriously?
She's trying to be so nice.
I was trying to be so nice.
Heather, I fall down for a living. I can't be that smart.
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to go there. I mean,
so you know what I want to talk about though? Like this, you guys are the same, cut from the same cloth, right? Because you get something going, you have your crew together, you start doing these shows, you don't stop there. So also then comes along the Shifter Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yep. That's our podcast that we've been running for, when did I start doing that? Probably April of last year. And, my whole thing, a big appreciation that I've got for all this is meeting people and getting to talk with folks and these relationships that I've developed because I decided to get a road glide in 2020 or whatever it was. Like, that's really, my bike is what I attribute all this to, because that's what got me going to these events and that's what got me out here meeting people. And I wanted to find a new way to continue doing that. And the Shifter Show is our podcast. I have all different kinds of people on there. Like I'll have the first podcast we ever did was a guy named Rude Paint, who's a local painter down here. Zach's an amazing guy, does great work. I'll have him on one week. I'll have Kevin from Cobalt Cycles, who's an engine builder, on. I'll have some of my Navy buddies on that, you know, I went on rescues and stuff with, and we'll start telling stories. And then I'll just have some local homies on, you know, but it's another way and avenue to just meet people and continue to grow and continue to develop relationships is kind of how I look at the podcast. And it's a ton of fun. Like sometimes, and I'm sure you guys run a show. So there's people that come on and like, man, I don't know this guy this well. We're going to see, this could be interesting. We could have some good conversation. We could learn here. That's a lot of fun. And then sometimes you just get to sit down with your buddies and you just kind of get to talk a little bit of shit. Yeah. And that's a lot of fun too, you know?
You know, sometimes it is though. Sometimes the best shows will come on to a show and like, you know, Heather does these. Let me see that for a second. Heather does a pre-show printout for us that we get to learn a little bit about everybody that comes on. Mark gets one. We all read this if we're not familiar with you to begin with. And some of the best shows are when that's all we have to go on. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the show, we're like, damn, I'm so glad we had this person on. It ends up being a blast, man.
But yeah, and I need to apologize to Heather. She sent me that probably 2 weeks ago, and I got it to her about 2 hours ago. So yeah, I'm like,
hey, can I have that back, please? But on the other side, some of the best shows that we've done is when we're working on projects in the garage, and we'll do a live shop talk from the garage as we're tearing down a motorcycle.
And we just let the camera run. And some of those
are the best shows that we do because you just kind of forget that the camera and mics
Every once in a while, Heather will run over and she'll go like this and answer some questions and, you know, but other than that, we just hang out.
The biggest hazard for me is I don't swear in front of my mother, and she watches every show, and you can't not swear in the shop.
Right?
Like, that's the worst part for me.
Yeah. So looking at your YouTube page, and we're putting all these links up for everybody so that they can follow along too. But I love some of the stuff from the show, like whether it's the names of the guests, you know, like Ride Faster Pussy on the Shifter Show, posing questions like should lane splitting be illegal?
Excuse me.
But did you die? Part 1 and Part 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna start following this show because damn.
We could have done about 20 of those. Did you die? Part 1 all the way to 20.
That's a series that I'm going to continue, and I haven't started Part 3 yet, just because I need some time to come kind of go by and some more stories to develop. But Did You Die series Part 1 and Part 2 are actually a couple of guys that I served with, Keith Woodall and Adam Conway. So I was at a Station Star Squadron, and we had like 6 rescue swimmers and 6 corpsmen or medics, if you will. And both of those gentlemen were SMTs or SAR medical technicians with me. And they are two of the, they're incredibly unassuming people, and they're two of the most fearless individuals that I've ever met in my life, with some of the wildest ass stories you've ever heard. And I was like, hey, you know, we get together regularly and we drink beers in the garage and we tell stories and it's a good time. And I was like, why don't we basically do what we do every Friday and just hit record? Right. And let's start telling some of these stories. And if you're into, I don't know, I try to be careful with some of the military stuff I say, just because I don't want to I never want it to be political or anything like that. But those 2 podcasts are just stories, and it's literally, but did you die? Because they did about everything but die on some of those stories. So those are a couple of them that I'm really proud of, is being able to have those guys on and get them to tell a couple of stories, you know?
Absolutely.
So I have a question, and I was told to ask you this.
Oh,
why
boy.
do they call you the Lock?
Oh man.
Whose question?
I am not at liberty to say.
I can tell you that Shelton told her to ask for that, right? I can tell you that right now. Yeah, so Shelton and I were Shelton's a good friend of mine. That's a guy that I take a lot of inspiration from. I was fortunate enough to be in Sturgis last year, the first time that his FXR fired up, and I was really excited and just really proud of my friend for how cool of a thing that he kind of did there. Yes, but there was a lot of pressure at the Four Corners rally last year for him and I, because we get around each other and we're just a joint at the hip. You know what I mean? That's my buddy, and I live in Southern California. He lives all the way up in Mitchell, South Dakota. And there was a lot of pressure for we were all getting matching tattoos, and people were telling us that we needed to get the lock and key tattoo. And it basically decided that he was the key and I was the lock. I don't know how that came around. You know, I got about 80 pounds on Shelton, so maybe we'll get that figured out. But for some reason, it was decided that he was the key and I was the lock.
Don't let that little guy push you around. That's all I have to tell you.
Well, hey, since he brought it up, we'll bring it up in person next time.
Oh my God.
That's great.
And I don't know.
Why isn't he here for this show? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right?
And you can call, Mark,
Right?
I will say this, you can call Shelton the little guy, but he is one of the
Oh my
strongest
God.
little guys I have ever seen in my life.
I
He's
don't
like,
know that.
like based on his body weight, he's got like superhuman strength.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
He does. He's from the planet Krypton or some shit, because for his little narrow acid he has, he'll do stuff, and I look at him, I'm like, are you kidding me right now, man?
He's from South Dakota, guys. You know how fucking tough you got to be to live in South Dakota year round?
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
we live here
struggling.
now.
You know?
I'm struggling with it right now. I in the middle of winter this year, I said to Heather, I was like, I'm not tough enough to live here. I'm just not. And I don't, as a man, I don't even have a problem admitting that. Like, people here are strong-willed and strong body.
Oh, we'll toughen you up. We'll toughen you up.
So let's so the shifter bike shows. Now,
Yes, sir.
There's talk that someday this is actually going to be a shifter cup, that this thing will go on as a series and end up as a shifter cup. Where are you with that?
So that was something I was really trying to put together this year, and just a lot going on. You know, I am still active duty. I do have another kind of part-time job. I got a wife. I got 2 kids. There's a lot going on. And I had the idea in like January to try to make this like a year-long series. And that's something I'm definitely going to pursue next year. I think Sturgis will be kind of my last big show this year. And then I'll immediately start planning on making this the Shifter Cup and making this a series that goes on throughout the year. I tried to, I guess in a way, I had the idea, and I'm very impulsive, for lack of a better word. So I kind of tried to force it, and then I realized, all right, this isn't going to happen immediately. You know, like, good things come with time, and we need to
Right on.
we need to take our time with this. Sorry, I just read Shelton's comment. He said, I will let this version of the story slide.
That's why I put it up there. I was like, oh, there's more.
This is
But
something
wait,
that I think will come into play next year, because come August 15th, when I'm driving home from Sturgis this year, that's going to be the primary goal. And that's something that I want to include, not only out here in California, but Sturgis, and maybe make it out to the East Coast and make it just a whole thing, you know? This year I really tried to make it happen, but I just didn't have the time to put enough effort into it that it kind of deserves to actually make it special, if that makes sense.
yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
and based on everything that you've got going on, that's completely understandable.
It's a busy time, you know. Like, I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh,
I got
good Lord.
a
Yeah.
couple hours here. You know, my wife was nice enough to take them away and give me the guest bedroom for the afternoon. But
Oh, well, we appreciate that.
Yep.
Especially on Easter. I know how hard that is when it's
Oh, yeah.
it's a good family day, but it's
Yeah,
so good.
for everybody, I kind of feel like we should have gave the disclaimer about that we appreciate everyone that's on with us tonight, because we have a nice packed house, and thank you for making this family holiday, making us a part of it and celebrating it with us. Pretty cool. Especially Mark. Mark left at dessert. I can't even believe you left at dessert.
Well, somebody wanted to do a show tonight. I did bring dessert home, though, so I'm golden. I have more. And I have wheat, so we're in.
Weed.
So now you do a series. When is your next shifter show, or your next bike show? When's your next bike show?
so the next bike show that we have planned is going to be April 27th out at the Bagger Racing League, the season opener for them. The guys over at Senders Only kind of put me in touch with them, and we did kind of a collaborative effort. We mixed up the classes a little bit. There's going to be like a best stunt bike and some things like that. So it'll be April 27th. From there, we have May 31st at the Bay Area Throttle Fest in San Jose. A week after that will be the Live Fast Rally in Sylvain, California. Following that, we'll be up in at the Pac West V-Twin Show put on by Crash Inc. and then it's Sturgis.
Nice.
So we've got something once a month, pretty much. And then we put on, myself and LFG 1904 put on a West Coast Classic in October, which sounds terrible, but I haven't even started planning that yet because I need to get through. I need to get through Sturgis before I start thinking about it.
We know how that goes. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, well, listen, man, do me a favor, and any of these events that come up or whoever you're in contact with, too, we do an event thing at the end of the show every week, so just send us your flyers, and we'll do our part to pass that stuff along all the time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Absolutely. We're lucky enough that at this point, people are asking us to come to events and kind of handle the bike show portion, and I'm really appreciative of it. I wish I could say yes to everybody. We can't. I don't have the ability to do that right now, but everything that we're doing, it's pretty much homegrown events, like the Bay Area Throttle Fest, the Live Fast Rally, even Sturgis, where we're at the Thunderdome. This is a family-owned business that we're going to go and we're lucky enough to be a part of, so we really appreciate just you guys helping spread the word. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We're more than happy. We like to help veterans. We like to help veteran-owned businesses. And we just like to do anything to promote motorcycling in general, especially with the younger generation, which is exactly who you're talking to.
Well, and that's a big thing too, man. Like, you have to constantly refresh this thing from the bottom up. Motorcycling requires the constant and vigorous agitation for it to stay, inventive and exciting and fun, and for it to go in all the ways. You can't just let the people at the top constantly steer it. You know what I mean? So anytime we get to promote things that are going on, stuff that's new, stuff that's underground, whatever we can, we're down for.
So go ahead. You can say it. Throw a wrench in the system. Yeah, I mean, we were the wrench for years.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually we started growing older and the wrench got rusty. It's really nice to see a young group of people come along.
Your wrench got rusty, bro.
Who are you kidding? You didn't leave the house this winter.
I know.
So, but it's super cool to see a younger group of people coming in and sort of taking the reins, not going nuts. I mean, in the case, some senses,
Mark,
we went nuts.
I'm going to tell you something right now, buddy. If you would have seen this Metro Mayhem that we were at, it would be the greatest thing for motorcycling if more of those kind of events started happening all around the country, because you could do shit there. It wasn't just another effing observer. You didn't just pay for the ticket, stop at this place, get your T-shirt, get your $10 beer, get your turkey leg. You know what I mean? Like, you could do stuff. You could sign up in drag race. You could sign up and compete in a stunt thing if you thought you could.
You could ride in a drift car. Like all the things. It had all the things. It was great.
I can't give them enough credit for that one. And like I said, if more of that starts to pop up around the country, it'd be the best thing that goes on for motorcycles.
Let's add it to our list.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something with what's going on in Metro Mayhem. If you look at Arizona Bike Week as a whole, like, it was dominated by Westworld for a while there. And I think the younger generation, which is super cool to me, like, these stunt guys have completely taken over. And at least where I live, like, that's a staple of it. If you're going to throw an event, you have to have a stunt show. And what Ryan and Trent and these guys have done, the guys over at Mod Culture, they've completely changed what a motorcycle event could be. And they've encapsulated everything. I mean, they've got the drift cars, they've got drag races, they've got a stunt show, they've got bike show, they've got slow races. You can look around. You're not going to be bored for 15 minutes because every 15 minutes, something is happening.
Yeah.
They've got the brawl out there going on. I mean, the drift cars, it was amazing. Everywhere you looked, there was something going on, and it was exciting. There was something to be a part of that event was super cool. And I hope that there's a way to carry that across the country and get other people kind of doing these kinds of things.
Yep.
Because nobody wants to go to an event. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody wants to go to an event and just stand around and look at a couple bikes for 8 hours, right? But what those guys were able to do at Arizona Bike Week this year was captures people's attention the entire time. And that's unique to me. That's something that I'm going to continue to be a part of as long as I can. As long as they'll have me, I'll be there,
Right on.
No, and it takes a level of understanding too. Like, we do with Toast, we do this thing in Daytona called Tacos and Burnouts. And it's kind of been underground for, the last 3 or 4 years. And every year the cops show up ultimately and they shut it down. Well, last year we went to the city and we said, look, man, these kids are in town, like They're doing this stuff anyway. They're doing block takeovers at a red light. Like, we're doing this event. You might as well, like, you know, give us a permit. Let us shut this part of the street down and do this and have a proper place for it. And like, they don't get it. They don't get it, man. They don't understand what this is, and because of their lack of understanding and their fear for it, they make it worse.
And the way that I kind of look at that, and you're talking about these kids, like, we're going to do this one way or another.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. I don't know, you know, if that's what people were doing 20 years ago, but I look at a lot of the things, a lot of the older generation, and I get a lot of shit because I call my buddies old and they all like to bust my balls about it, but it's on every generation that comes up to ensure that this thing stays great, you know? So you can either sit here and watch it and just kind of soak it in and be a part of it, and there's a lot of value in that, and that's great too. But I'm going to make sure that as long as I'm around and I'm involved in this stuff, we're going to continue to put out awesome things that people want to be a part of, you know? And I'm lucky enough to have guys like Ryan Cruzy and Trent, those guys that are senders only. These guys are putting on amazing events, and I'm like, hey, I can help with that. Yeah. I can take this little piece off your plate, and we can continue this through our generation. Because what we're seeing right now with like a lot of these performance shows and these stunt shows, that's just my generation's take.
Absolutely.
On the Harley-Davidson community.
Absolutely.
You know, like when guys were doing choppers and all these other things, I'm sure that there was a bunch of old heads at some point that were like, yeah, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're not into this. This isn't what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And when guys started, you know, putting 14-inch shocks on bikes and raising the front end and trying to get higher and trying to get more clearance, there's a lot of guys that are like, oh, hell yeah, brother, that's not the way it's supposed to go. But that's just my generation's take on it. And if we don't continue to do that, it's going to fall off.
No, and you know what, man? It's important. It's important that you say it like that too, because that was my commentary when we were doing the first year of the tacos and burnouts in Daytona. A couple of the old guys came over to me and they were like, you know, this is all fun and everything. He said, but one of these bikes is gonna get out of control and somebody's gonna get hurt. He said, and then the fun's all over, and like he was shitting on me for it. And I was like, hey man, I said, you know, that's the funny thing about freedom. If you don't let it run once in a while and let people chase after it, I said, that's why they call it the animated contest for freedom. And that's exactly what was going on back in the beginning of the chopper days, man. They were freaking the straights out with the way they lived, the way their motorcycles looked, the way they did everything. You know, you're absolutely right. That is your generation's take on that. That's beautiful.
Yep. And all you got to do, I mean, rope the area off and let these boys go. If you look at Joey 5.5 and Trent Mercado and Foley and these guys, like, these are uber crazy talented dudes. Let's get these boys some insurance. Let's rope an area off and let them show everybody what they can do with a motorcycle. You know, that's kind of something I want to be a part of. I want to be able to hang out with these dudes, and I want to go drink beers and talk about it afterwards.
Same thing. I mean, not to keep making comparisons to the old days, but the whole place where old time bike games come from, which they had old time bike games at the Metro Mayhem, but where those came from was people showing off their ability to control a motorcycle. Yep. It wasn't just about bite the weenie. Like there was contests to show that you could maneuver a bike and you could handle yourself and you could handle your bike. Hey, real quick, I want to say Bill Stevens brought up we're talking about all this, and he says, but do they have a Ferris wheel? And of course, everybody remembers the year that Sturgis, like during COVID, they were having a hard time getting vendors. So the city of Sturgis decides to book a traveling carnival, and they brought Ferris wheel and everything right on Main Street.
It was so
and
sad.
Everybody's having a laugh about this and going, oh my God, COVID year when Sturgis had the Ferris wheel. But then Bill Stevens says, well, Mountain Fest had a Ferris wheel too. Here's why Mountain Fest will always be immune from reprisal on having a Ferris wheel or any other shit that they had, because Mountain Fest was the only place that ever had the midget shooting gallery.
That's right.
What is this? You might want to ask. Well, apparently there was this group of performing small people who came up with the idea that they brought a couple junk cars, a bunch of paintball
They
guns.
set up a paintball station.
And you could pay to go up with the paintball guns, and they would come running out from behind these cars.
Like, you know how you shoot the ducks?
It was totally inappropriate, but it was their idea, right? But somebody got pissed off, even though it was their idea and they were making good money doing it. That was the only time you could ever do midget shooting gallery was Mountain Fest. So they could have a Ferris wheel.
Taylor,
All right.
would you pay to?
I think we need to bring this back. This sounds like a great time. But if anybody's got their contact info, let me know. We'll get them out there at the bike show.
Oh my God.
I'm saying.
Hey, we were the kings of inappropriate back then. I can tell you that, hands down.
Here's the deal: we didn't do it.
No,
even we walked
I'm
up
so
to
I just
disappointed.
meant everything that surrounded us.
I'm so disappointed that we didn't think of that. That was one of the best shit ever to happen at a motorcycle event.
Oh man, that's some kind of stuff I want to be a part of. I want to see that.
Right?
If I go to a motorcycle rally and they're like, "Hey, we were shooting little guys with paintball guns," that'd get me out there. If it wasn't a motorcycle event, I'd probably go to that.
That's
show,
right.
You know?
I will never miss this rally again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, man. Again, I want to thank you for your service, but also not just for your service to the country, your service, you and your guys that are keeping the spirit of wild ass motorcycle culture alive. I appreciate what you guys are doing. I want to help it as much as we can. Fan the flames from over here. Please reach out to us. Anybody we can hook you up with, anything that we might be able to help out with, we're happy to do it for you guys.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch. I'll let you know what kind of events we're doing, and if you guys are out here on the West Coast, please let me know. I'm sure we'll see you guys out there in Sturgis. We'll be at the Thunderdome. I think there's going to be a couple of bike shows that we're putting on out there. Still waiting to hammer out a date, but really appreciate that. Thank you.
No, absolutely, man. And listen, for everybody that's following along here, we're going to put up the link for their Instagram page, Shifter Crew, the website, Shifter Crew Shop, the podcast,
All
Spotify
the
page,
things.
so that you can listen to some of the podcasts they're doing, and of course their YouTube. And just again, Taylor, man, thanks to you and thanks to all the guys that are making this stuff happen. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right, man. Hey, listen, everybody else, you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. We're going to take a look at a cool feature bike when we come back on the other side. We're going to do events and some other shit. Maybe we'll just open up Mark's microphone and let him talk. So
boy.
stick around for that.
That's
It's
scary.
Easter here in the Shop Talk Studio.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Bob Peterson. I'm from Ormond by the Sea, Florida. There's a 1976, I call it a Coney Island special. And I did that because when I was growing up in New Jersey, the clubs used to come over from New York City and they had all these bikes dressed up like in the 60s and the 70s. So I remember that as a kid. When I was little, I said, when I get older, I want to decorate the bike like they did old school. So that's what I did. And it takes years and years to find these parts. You're not going to find them anywhere. Everything's homemade. So it took about 3 years to build it. And I love it. Take it to shows, show it off. And the old timers love it because they remember when their fathers had them or their grandfathers had them back in the 50s and the 60s. So it's nice, my little toy. You know, some guys have 57 Chevys and all that old car. This is my toy down here. So this is good. I like it. I got the bike about 4 years ago, and it took about 3 years to find the parts and build it. When I did it, it was stock. It was a stock motorcycle. And I decorated the whole thing myself. It needed some engine work, but I had the engine done and then started decorating it up because it's far from stock, as you could see. You know, so, yeah, but otherwise chroming is very expensive. And I had a lot of chroming done and took up a lot of time. Yeah, very nice. That's my nice toy, my Coney Island special. Because the people in New York City, they all had these. They go to Coney Island all the time. Yeah, they all say, I remember that when I was a kid. Oh, it's nice. It was fun. Oh, I worked for Verizon for 31 years. I was a cable splicer and a part-time lineman for Verizon up in New Jersey in the Hackensack area. And then when I retired, I moved down here. Yep, and I love it. I don't want to go back. I have a garage, yeah. It's a regular one-car garage. I have a 2017 Street Glide. And that's my riding around bike when I'm not riding this. And the whole idea is to keep the salt air off of this. That's the main thing. The salt air will rot this chrome like you can't believe. So that's what I try to do, yeah. Yeah, very nice. But take it for a ride. The ride's nice because this is nice, like a police seat on here, so it's nice. You bounce up and down, and it's a very good running motorcycle, really, really good. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. My name is Bob Peterson. I'm from Ormond Beach, Florida, and I'm a Dennis Kirk bike builder.
Riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape. There's a flow to the road you share, so go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
I'm Brian Clock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
We're ready to race. What's your strategy? Go fast.
The Fueling name has been associated with racing and high-performance engines since 1974, when founder Jim Fueling started fueling the flames. From Daytona to Monaco, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to the Indy 500. Fueling is here to compete. Look for the Flying Pig to run up front this year with pilot Ben Bosman. Fueling. No bullshit, just performance.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, and you are watching Shop Talk. If you're not aware, that's this show. That's what we do here Sunday night, 9 p.m. We go live with this on the East Coast. Shop Talk, man.
Okay. I was trying to find a clip of the Little People paintball. I did not have any success. But I did find at dwarfwrestling.com, you can hire them to do dwarf tossing.
No. This is I'm just saying this is a bad idea for our crowd. It's just a bad idea.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't know.
I say run faster.
Chad Fergan, Short Guy Shooting Gallery. Good stuff. I will not help with that.
I will not be a part of that. Nope. Nope.
Well, listen, it was such a pleasure to have Taylor on. Like I said, if you get the opportunity to see one of these events that I'm telling you, his bike shows are killer to begin with, but that Metro Mayhem, hats off to everybody involved with that, because that was a game changer for sure.
Oh.
And speaking of game changer,
oh boy,
I'm going to change the game right now.
Oh, what are we doing?
We're going to events with Heather.
Shop Talk is brought to you by Cyclefish. Cyclefish, the most complete list of motorcycle events in the U.S.
Okay, first up is Sunday, April 27th at the JFK Marina in Yonkers, New York. How do you say that if you're from Yonkers?
Yonkers.
Hogs for a Hope. All proceeds benefit the Ronald McDonald House and the Aiden Jack Seeger Foundation. Our good buddy Mad Stewart Ken, longtime firefighter, heads this up, and great guy. So if you're in the area, go check it out. Sunday, April 27th at the JFK Marina in Yonkers. May 15th through 18th at Loretta Lynn's Ranch, Tennessee Motorcycles and Music Revival. It looks like they've got a great lineup, some cool bike stuff happening, and the creek, that's my favorite part of it. Saturday, May 24th, Sons of Speed 10 Jam, Vintage Outlaw Racing in Hohenwald, Tennessee. You can get more information and tickets on at billylane.net. RiverCityBikeExpo.com. June 6th, 7th, and 8th. A cool $20 gets you in. There's going to be tattoos, stunt shows, bikes, all the things. All the things are going to be there that weekend.
Please get me a different flyer for that event.
I know. I'm sorry. Hey, they're actually going to be on next week, so I will make sure. Yes. They're going to be on as our guest next week. Mark and Deanna Rhodes from Pinup Baggers are the hosts of that event, and I have conned them into coming on to Shop Talk.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
See, you didn't expect that one, did you?
102 years of the Laconia Motorcycle Rally takes place this year, June 14th through 22nd in beautiful Lakes region of New Hampshire. I think we'll be there. We hope to see you guys there, too. Go ahead, do it for me.
Born Free.
June 21st and 22nd in Silverado, California. Oh, I got myself all screwed up saying it wrong on purpose. We'll be there. Hope to see you too. Born Free Motorcycle Show. Motoblot, June 27th through 29th in Chicago, Illinois, Moto and Music Festival. It's been a few years since we've been there, but man, it was a damn good time when we went. I really enjoyed it, so y'all should check it out for us.
The pinup contest alone, honest to God, real pinups.
That's, and I hate to say this because it's so much. It's about more than so much than the imagery. But if you want the good imagery and the custom culture, this is an outstanding show. Outstanding show to go to. Back again, Hollister Independence Rally, Friday, July 4th through
Words are hard.
July 5th in Hollister, California. You can get more information about that at HollisterIndependenceRally.com. I told you I don't feel good.
Fired much?
Hey, I should get bonus points for even being here. Virginia City Roundup, August 23rd, rodeo and motorcycle show in Virginia City.
Hello?
I was getting there. Four Quarters Motorcycle Rally, Labor Day weekend, October 28th through 31st, 2025 in Durango, Colorado. And Easy Riders Rodeo in Bloomville, Ohio, Thursday, August 28th through Monday, September 1st. Looks like they have all the things. And then last but not least, Smokeout Rally, September 4th through 7th, 2025. The original Chopper Party in Salisbury, North Carolina. If you're not there, you're a loser.
Loser.
You can get your tickets at smokeoutrally.com. You can enter to be a garage builder for the Garage Buildoff Showcase at smokeoutrally.com. I've got a couple spots left. Get your applications in.
Oh, my God. Radar.
Oh, no.
Radar is saying
No. If you say it out loud, no, don't.
He needs a bearskin rug and a Santa hat, and he'll do a pinup. Okay, so by request, because I said it, everybody said, hey, we're still waiting for Mark to talk.
Well, that's not going to happen because Heather has one more event to announce.
I do?
Yeah, it was on screen when we cut off.
Oh, yeah, I do? Oh, Kentucky Moto Fest, September 26th through 28th, 2025. That is hosted by our good friend, the Shade Tree Racing Boys. They always help us at Smokeout Rally with the bike games and...
Bill Stevens.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Bill.
What'd he do?
We're fighting.
He's a loser and can't be at Smokeout.
I'm not going to take
Real
that
nice,
back.
Bill.
Fighting.
Yep.
Real nice.
Fighting.
Get your tickets
nice things,
now. So yeah, man, Smokeout is coming fast, and boy, do we got some cool shit planned for that. We're building 2 brand new shit houses. So
I'm
we'll
trying
have
to get
That's right,
4 of them. 4 of them. You have your choice.
Hey, if anybody has a line on a mechanical bull, I need to make that happen.
We need a mechanical
for a
bull. We need a mechanical bull. Don't ruin this for me. This is a very big day.
Do not ruin this.
I need a mechanical bull. I have one that I could buy. I just need to approve them.
Well,
oh, wait a minute. I am the funding department.
We're not buying our own mechanical bull. Do you know what will happen? These guys will get a hold of it.
They'll shoot a potato gun through it.
Yeah, it'll shoot a potato gun off its ass. It'll have ape hangers on the front of it. They'll have it so
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. I remember when you guys used to be fun.
So, hey, listen, again, happy Easter. Thanks for hanging out with us. We have some incredible stuff coming up on CycleSource TV. What's that? You don't know what CycleSource TV is? Well, you can get it on
Fire Stick,
Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, iOS and Android devices. You can watch it on the computer, but watching stuff like this in your living room is kind of the blast. I told you we did the Arizona Bike Week coverage. The Donnie Smith coverage is up. We have new episodes of Downshift that came in from Z1R, and this week we will be putting up the a brand new episode of Destinations. If you guys followed around the last time that we did Destinations, it was Jack Daniels. We went on a great tour to learn all the story about Jack Daniels and the Jack and the bikes and the whole deal. Well, this time we got set loose in Tombstone, Arizona, and we're bringing you the event behind the event, sneaking away from Arizona Bike Week and going to check out Tombstone. So all of that on CycleSource TV. Little bits of it end up here also. So there you go.
Okay.
Well, Hayden, just saying.
Just saying. Happy Easter. That's all. No, seriously, man. Hope everybody had a great day with their family. Here comes another week right around the corner, but thank you for spending time with us right here where we come live every Sunday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast with another episode of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit between 90 to 120 minutes. A little show we call Shop Talk. Thanks to Dennis Kirk. All of our sponsors up at the top. We appreciate that. And with their good graces, we'll see you here next week. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Happy Rabbit Day, Felicia.